What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another GeForce Now News Thursday. We do this every single Thursday morning, going over games that are coming, features, updates, games that are leaving, good news, bad news, pretty much whatever we've got going for GeForce Now. So we're going to be rounding out the month here. This is the end of the month for this video. Actually, it'll be coming out for April 1st. So we're going to be going over the roadmap for April, but also let's talk a little bit about what happened in March. So originally we had laid out a roadmap of 21 games to be released in March for GeForce Now. We actually blew by that by 14 more games, making it a total of 35 games released in March for GeForce Now. The additional 14 games that weren't on the roadmap: Do Not Feed the Monkeys, Evoland Legendary Edition, Goner, Iron Conflict, Paradise Lost, Railroad Corporation, Snooker 19, System Shock Enhanced Edition, Stronghold Warlords, Sword and Fairy 7 Trial, The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3, The Witcher Adventure Game, Thornbreaker, and Wanba Warriors. So all of those games were not originally in the roadmap for March, and we got those. And this goes with the trend of what they've been doing since January. Not that this will be the case every single March, but they've put out additional games, at least 10, 15 more than what they originally have on the roadmap. And it's really nice to see that, as they are continuing to rapidly build the library of games at about 10 to 15 per week so far every week this year. And they're kind of saying they're going to be doing the same thing all year long. That would be a ton of games, especially if we get back some of those older games and we continue to get new releases like Outriders day and date release. So we're going to be getting into that here in just a second, though, but I did want to cover that. We found other things in March, like GeForce Now is approaching 10 million users. We don't know how many of that is the free and paid, but the point that the player base is getting that big for GeForce Now, that the interest is there. Hopefully we can get more games brought to the service, because that would be great. That would help fill out the library with older and newer games as developers see that people have interest here. So what else do we want to go over here? So we want to go over the roadmap, right? But before we do that, I want to touch on what happened this week. We did have a GeForce Now outage. Now, this lasted for a few hours, if not several hours, depending on where you were. It did start to come back up. It seemed like it was kind of a rolling comeback up globally. It was a global outage. And for me, here on the east coast of the US where I'm at, it came back around 7 o'clock, I want to say, for me. I kept checking on it. I may have missed it here or there, but it was somewhere around 7 p.m. for my time that it came back. It was gone for most of the day. Now, while this is really annoying, it can really suck if this is your only way to play games. This kind of thing does happen. It's not just a GeForce Now thing. The other cloud services have experienced outages as well. It can happen. And also with consoles. When I got my Xbox One originally, it was like 6 hours because of the amount of people trying to log on and authenticate and update their console, that I wasn't able to do it. And you couldn't play or do anything with your Xbox One without being able to get online and get that update and get everything signed in. So there was that. I had issues with the PlayStation Network before, where I couldn't play any games. Back in the day of Xbox 360, had things go down to the point of not being able to play anything. This kind of thing can and will happen, and cloud gaming is especially vulnerable to it, because if you don't have connection, if something does go down, you can lose connection to all of your games, right? You can't play anything offline. So this can happen. And while we do want to have systems in place that could help this in the future for sure, for everyone, because it can be annoying for gamers, just understand that these things can happen. People will work as hard as they can to get these services back up, and we just got to kind of roll with it a little bit. Now, if it were to become an issue ongoing and it goes for days, or it was going out every week, you're going to hear a different tune. But as long as these companies, all these gaming platforms, are able to handle these outages as quickly as possible and have them happen as minimally as possible, then I'll stay pretty open-minded to the fact that these things will happen. Besides that, everything is looking pretty decent for GeForce Now right now, and I want to go over into what the games are happening. So we've got 13 games for this week, and we've got 21 in the roadmap for the month of April. And if things go the way they have been going, there's a good chance that we're going to go by that as well. So let's go over the 13 games that are coming for this week first. So that's Outriders, of course, day and date release, both for the Epic Games Store and for Steam. Now, Rita Boy is a day-and-date release on Steam. I've been playing this on Game Pass, and I actually really like it. And if you grew up a fan of the original Tron, I think you should definitely check this game out. Tales of the Neon Sea is a free on the Epic Games Store, April 1st through the 8th. You'll be able to play that on GeForce Now. A-Train PC Classic, Endzone: A World Apart, Sports, Might and Magic 10 Legacy, Mr. Prepper, 9 Parchments, 0 Starting Life in Another World, The Prophecy of the Throne, Rhythm Doctor, Shadowrun Hong Kong, and Styx Master of Shadows, which is actually another pretty fun game as well. So those are the 13 games that we've got dropping for this week. Of course, Outriders being the big one, but like I said, don't sleep on the Rita Boy either. I've actually been really enjoying that game. So what are the rest of the games that we have laid out here coming in April that we know of? Let's go over that list. So that would be 41 Hours, Beholder 2, Chinese Parents, Earth Defense Force Iron Rain, The Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel, Postal 4, R-Type Final 2, Shio, Spin Tires, Stronghold 2, Stronghold 3 Gold, Stronghold Crusader 2, Stronghold Crusader HD, and Stronghold HD. A lot of Stronghold games filling in there for Steam. Tomb Raider The Last Revelation, Torchlight from Epic and Steam, Torchlight 3, Trin Enhanced Edition, Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion on Steam, and Watch Your Ride biking game on Steam. Now, these are the games that are laid out right now. Of course, for this month, Outriders is the biggest release, but there are a lot of other cool games mixed in here as well. Don't forget about Narita Boy. R-Type Final 2 is a side-scroller, another cool one to check out. I'm not sure about the Watch Your Ride. The Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 4 definitely from Steam. So there are some good games sprinkled out through here, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing more Outriders on Geforce Now. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week. That's the roadmap of 21 games for April, 13 this week alone. So unless they have really small weeks the rest of the month, I'm expecting a lot of surprises again this month to be released on Geforce Now. Thanks a lot for coming to watch, guys. As always, I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, leave me your comments down below, all that kind of stuff, you know, helps the channel, and I really appreciate it. Again, thanks for coming to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next one.